Week 2 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Eagles and the Vikings on Thursday night.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in Week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the...
Taking it right down Broadway. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The Eagles are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
So they'll get nothing out of that play. And now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put them in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota's new coaching staff really leaned on Cousins for leadership and production, and the longtime vet was up to the pressure. 29 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and a 13-win season, his best as a starter. Captain Kirk, he's quietly been one of the league's most productive passers the last few seasons.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 75 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Here we get a look now at the Eagles class from the 2023 draft, and maybe we should start calling them Georgia North, partner. 3 more Bulldogs added to their defense, all of them at good value, too.
And I let you know that the GM doesn't let schools get in the way of good drafting. Remember, he went to Florida, big rival of Georgia, but he wants better players in Philadelphia. And defensive tackle Jalen Carter, pass rusher.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Rodgers to return it. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Hurts going to move him around. Penny, a 1st down carry. Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
And fans of Penny's can certainly celebrate seeing that run, because after 2021 breakout year, 2022 was cut short by injury. But if there's one thing Philadelphia knows how to do, it's run the football. They targeted Penny as a free agent, knowing he could be a lead guy in their offense.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Vikings, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On the option to give to Swift here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Guys, and if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing, Cousins. Complete to Addison on the out route. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. You look at this Eagle defense. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 33. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw is Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run here with Akers. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there and 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3rd and goal for Cousins. Touchdown! Jordan Addison with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it as we resume action. And here's Rodgers to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Second down and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense, they get their first interception of the game, and since they were in plus territory, didn't have too terribly far to go, but they take it all the way into the end zone.
And you intercepted in that close, you're automatically picking 6 points the other way, but what I like most about it was how the defense rallied, got up on their blocks, and didn't commit any penalties as well.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Second and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll try it now with Swift. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Back to the running game with Swift. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Joseph's got it. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now back to throw. That is caught. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown! Philadelphia. Quez Watkins. His second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. And he'll get in for the 2 points. So that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. With the football going back to the Vikings offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Cousins. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Rodgers on the return. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
That one goes for 30 yards. They run out of the gun with Swift. And the ball is knocked out. Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bucs. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He has such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. He gets it to Addison. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Holding. Offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Cousins on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 6 now. Cousins.
certainly did a nice job there, picking her up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with it. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
They'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Again, it's Cousins. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. To the air again, it's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. 4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. The kick by Joseph is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Eagles offense is going to take over late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Going deep here for Watkins, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
63.
Here's Hurts to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The offense trots back out, ready for this next drive, and there's the running back, Cam Akers. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Throwing, Cousins. Looks again for T.J. Hawkinson, and he's got him again. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play. With all the reviews coming from the replay official.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll throw again. Cousins. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in position to dictate to the offense.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will stay a one-score game as the lead will hold. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. This is caught by Addison. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He continues to deliver a 1st down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And there's a pretty play for Madison, who seems like a perfect fit for the Vikings. Obviously, Minnesota loves receivers who produce, and Addison, one of college's best and most productive receivers the last couple of seasons.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. Shifts, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Cam Akers, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to add on to that lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And this one incomplete. So they wait for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing is Hurts. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Hurts going to keep it running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Swift again. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And this is back to a 5-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 117 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Cousins now. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 49 yards there, a big one. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that second level and third, and that's what they were able to exploit.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. A handoff, Swift running to the left. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd down and 4. A quick throw here out to Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 of the 12. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Great.
Swift will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So he's had a nose for the end zone here in the early part of the season. 2 touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
Yeah, he certainly finds where the goal line is and finds a way to get across it. But you know who else senses it? The guys that block for him. Because he has that instinct, I think they hold the blocks just a little bit longer.
Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. It's complete. And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Osborne. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. A give up the middle to Akers. Takes it to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing is Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Here now, 3rd and a yard. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Shoves him away. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Cousins to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run.
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Akers is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Joseph's got it, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll start by running the option to the right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 83 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. On the option to give to Swift here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Big third down, a field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Sutton's been having a good game so far, and you know something? Love has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Play action. Here's Hurts. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
On second down, Swift. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The offense trots back out, ready for this next drive. And there's the running back, Cam Akers. He's been a good... use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
On third down, Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline. Out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And here's Rodgers on the return. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground with Swift, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today, to try and get him over 100 yards.
Hurts. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 5 yards is a pickup there as that extends this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And even 100 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys that are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll try and run here with Swift. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Here's Swift. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run with Swift. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They will run it with Swift here. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
And now here in this situation, a field goal would still have them only up by 1 score, so I would think about going for it. Even if you don't get in, you put your defense in a really nice spot, making the offense go the long way to try and score.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. So Cousins and the Vikings down by 4, 1:13 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Cousins to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Well, this feels like a late-season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Completes this to Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
This one caught by Osborne, right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now Cousins. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here's Cousins. To the left sideline and incomplete. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make the play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. One last shot now for Cousins. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. The home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's